guys, it's Margie, and today I'm doing a movie review of the 2004 film The Village. This film starred Bryce Dallas Howard, Joaquin Phoenix, Adrien Brody, William Hurt, Sigourney Weaver, Cherry Jones, and Brendan Gleeson. It was directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan, who has also done Signs and The Sixth Sense and Lady in the Water. And it was produced by, well, many people, but one of which who is Scott Rudin, who has done a lot of really good movies. And cinematography was by Roger Deakins, who also did the cinematography for Skyfall and The Shawshank Redemption and A Beautiful Mind and No Country for Old Men. So, needless to say, he's amazing. And it also had music by James Newton Howard. So the basic plot for this movie is a little hard to explain. You definitely need to go check out the trailer if you haven't seen this movie. But I would say the basic plot is like this group of people live in this little village and they are surrounded by these woods. And in those woods live these creatures, and they're referred to as those we don't speak of. And so the people are essentially like trapped within the village. They will not go into the woods. They live off their own, they till the land and they do all this. They never have any communication with the outside world at all. It's a story about this guy, Joaquin Phoenix's character, that wants to go into the woods and see things, and, things happen and yada yada yada. And it's not really about... Well, okay, to say what it's really about is to give it away, I feel like. I don't know. If you've seen it, then you'll be the judge of that. But anyway, check out the trailer, please. Let's start with performances. I'm not really going in any particular order here. I'm just kind of going down the list. Sigourney Weaver, I thought she was good. I thought she did a very great job. I'm not extremely familiar with her work. I've only seen a couple of her films. But I thought she did great. She had a really minor role, though, so to say, that this is her film is completely false, but she did well for herself. She really did. Moving on to William Hurt, I thought he did fantastic. I really, really did. And he had a pretty good bit of lines in this movie and pretty good bit of screen time in this film. I thought he was absolutely superb. Again, I've only seen a couple of his movies. So I don't really have an opinion on him on the whole, but in this film, he was great. He was absolutely fantastic. Kind of backtracking a little bit, Sigourney Weaver plays the mother of Joaquin Phoenix's character, and she's one of the town elders of this village, and William Hurt is also one of the elders, and his daughter is Bryce Dallas Howard. Moving on to Joaquin Phoenix, as I said, he plays this young man that wants to go into the woods, or is thinking about it. M. Night Shyamalan, I hope I'm saying that right, the director and writer actually wrote this part for Joaquin Phoenix. You're going to hear me say this a lot. I'm not really familiar with a lot of the people that were in this film. I mean, of course you're familiar with them as far as, oh, that's Sigourney Weaver, I know who they are. But as far as their work, I have only seen like a couple of their movies each. So it was kind of just like, I don't know what I'm going to get here. All that to say, Joaquin Phoenix, I think I've seen him in one movie and it was a minor role. So I can't really comment on all of his work, but I've got to say he was absolutely fantastic in this movie. I mean, he was great. Just so much in his face, just these little subtle things he plays, and his character is so lovable. He plays this shy, kind of beat down character. He seems so shallow at first, but then the more you learn about him, the more you see that there's everything going on inside of him. It's not that he's shallow, he just doesn't express it. So he was absolutely fantastic in this role. Adrien Brody plays a guy with mental issues. He's kind of slow or whatever you want to say, and slightly crazy. He was absolutely fantastic. Again, I don't think I've seen any of Adrien Brody's movies. The only thing that I'm familiar with him all is Kissing Halle Berry when he won his Oscar for The Pianist. He was excellent. He was absolutely superb. Moving on to Cherry Jones, she did not have very much screen time at all, but I have seen Cherry Jones in a couple things before, and she's great. I love her. Same thing with Brendan Gleeson. He was very solid. He didn't have a lot of screen time. Save the best for last, Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh my goodness. First of all, can we just say she is so beautiful. Would you not just care if she couldn't act? She was absolutely superb. She plays the main character in this movie, Ivy, and she plays William Hurt's daughter, and she was so good in this movie. Her crying scenes were all believable. She made the character seem very innocent, and her character is blind in this movie. And the way that her eyes just, I don't know, she was so connected in all the scenes, even though she wasn't looking at the person. I don't know. I don't really know what to say with this about her other than it was just absolutely superb. And like I said, I think I've only seen her in a couple of the movies and she didn't really have anywhere to go with it. But this, she was, oh my goodness, she was great. She actually won this role. She didn't have to audition for it. The director saw her do something on stage and said, that's who I want in my movie. Moving on to the directing and the writing, I thought the directing was so good. I love this movie, y'all. Am I crazy? It was so good. Okay, directing, M. Night Shyamalan. I have not seen anything else he's done, but I'm telling you, I plan to in the future because he is fantastic. I love his style. I love the whole tone of this film. I love that it was scary, but it wasn't like creepy and gory. I loved everything about this movie. The writing was very simple, and if you'd given this script to a weaker cast, I don't think it would have been a good movie. But with such simple lines and everything, the cast had so much where to go, and they just did such a great job with it. All the actors and actresses had such great chemistry. The cast was so just tight. I mean, it was epic. It was something magical. The cinematography, I do want to comment on this a little bit because I absolutely loved it. There's so many like darker themes and the lighting and just everything about this movie. It was so fantastic. Roger Deakins, who did the cinematography for this, also did the cinematography for Skyfall, No Country for Old Men, and Shawshank Redemption and A Beautiful Mind, so he is absolutely epic. Love him. Music, I love James Newton Howard. Oh my goodness, I love him, you know, and so that was one of the big incentives for me to see this movie. Absolutely loved him. I thought the music made this film. If you watch this movie when it's muted, you will not get any of the effects out of it at all because the music is like literally half of it. Bravo, James Newton Howard. He was nominated for Best Score for this film. He was absolutely ridiculous. It was amazing. Moving on to the Parents Guide. Got parents, hello! Congratulations! I mean, let's all clap and stand. This movie is literally as clean as a whistle. Oh my stars. There is not a single curse word. There is not a single sex scene. There is not a single bit of nudity. There is just, I mean, this movie is literally so clean. The only thing is, I would not say let your little ones see it because it is, you know, kind of creepy and it's got a little horror film. It's very suspenseful movie. I know, it's like finally a film that's clean, but you can't show it to your kids. I know. But, I mean, you can, but I don't know. You'd have to judge the age on this one. I'm not going to give an age. It depends on how old your child is, but I mean, it definitely will send shivers up your spine. There's so many suspenseful moments in this film. And I love, love, love you, M. Night Shyamalan, for making a movie that is suspenseful and a little bit of horror and all this, but it's not gory. I mean, there's one knife scene, which is not that bad. I mean, it's a little, yeah, it's a little intense, but I mean, just the suspense. This whole film is just coated in like this eerie, suspenseful feel. That's cinematography and directing. Absolutely loved it. It's just, oh, it's so good. So, yeah, this is not going to be the great ones for your kids because they'll probably will have nightmares. I didn't, but, you know. But, yeah, everything else is clean as a whistle. I would say this is like a perfect date movie. You've got some romance. You've got, you know, suspense. It's for adults, definitely, but it's also clean, so there's not going to be anything that you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to see this on this first date with this person, you know, so, yeah. just to wrap everything up, I've got to say, I absolutely love this movie. And I was looking up some critics' reviews and stuff, and it's kind of like people either love or hate it. You know, a lot of people think the writing was weak. I don't. I thought it was great. Just because I thought there was so much beauty in the simplicity, and the actors were saying so much without saying anything that it filled in all the gaps. Spoilers! If you have not seen this movie, stop this video right here. I'm going to paste right here where you need to skip past all the spoilers. For those of you who have seen this movie, though, the only thing that I would say about this movie that I didn't like was the ending. Okay, it's not that I didn't like the ending, it's just that it was such an anticlimax, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, she comes in, and, like, one of the actors is just like, oh, she's returned, you know, from going to the towns. And you're like, really? Like, show somebody standing at the edge of the woods, like, looking for her, and, you know, we don't know if she's going to come back or not. Like, make that suspenseful. And then I think there should have been something between Joaquin Phoenix and Bryce Dallas Howard's characters at the end to let us know whether Joaquin Phoenix's character is going to live or die. I mean, we just, like, she comes back with the medicine, she kneels by, she's like, I returned, and it's the credits. That's a little bit of a downer, but you know, on the whole, I think the journey was great. I didn't see the twist coming in the movie. I'm gullible, I guess, but I didn't see any of that coming. The fact that the creatures were just dudes in costumes, and, you know, they've been scaring people and all that. I did not foresee that at all. Am I gullible? I'm so gullible, right? I'm giving this movie probably 4 stars out of 5. Just because I absolutely loved it. I've only seen it one time, but I will definitely be watching this again. Even if you didn't really like the story and the concept and all that very good, I feel like everybody that worked on this movie was on their A game. I mean, the cinematography was killer, the directing was great, and even if you don't think the directing was great, maybe it's just me, I loved this movie. I loved the directing, I loved the cinematography, the music. Oh my gosh, James Newton Howard, love you. So yeah, all the actors were great. Bryce Dallas Howard was amazing. I can't say enough good things about this movie, y'all. I've only seen it one time. I just watched it last night. I'm fixing to go watch it again. Like, it's so good. So yeah, if you have not seen The Village, go see The Village. Like, no kidding. Again, as I said, parents, you know, maybe nightmares for the kids. That's the thing. This has been my movie review. I'm sorry, I'm just fixing to go watch this movie again. This has been my movie review of the epic movie, The Village, from 2004. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.